Okay, so I haven't made a video of any kind in a long time, but I will be making some new videos soon, and I wanted to make a video right now to talk about something I just picked up. I just got a GoPro Hero 4 Black Edition, and so I'm planning on using this for several videos soon, which I'll put up here once they're done. So I'm just going to open it now, get a look at it, and we'll talk about it just a little bit. So I've mentioned before that I'm not an especially technical person, but I've followed GoPro for a while. I've always been impressed with the fact that you can just look at them and sort of get an idea of what they do and how they work and how they've improved from edition to edition and why it is that it was worth getting the Hero Black after I passed by the Hero 3 in all editions and the Hero 3 Plus in all editions. Namely, the 3 and the 3 Plus both made some obvious changes in the aspect ratios, the different white balances, the different contrasts, resolutions, shooting capabilities, software, firmware, hardware. There's changes of all different kinds. I know that people that are into scuba diving and other underwater items have really felt that their complaints with the Heroes 1 and 2 were both addressed with those models. But for me, at least, the change wasn't so drastic that it became clear that it was time to pick up a new one. Ultimately, they still had that same great GoPro look with a couple changes, a couple slight modifications to what was already so familiar. So I'm just checking out some of these different connections. When I originally got my Hero 2, it came with some more impressive connectors than they offer sort of standard with this Hero 4 model, and that's just going to come down to the fact that clearly they make a lot of their money off their connectors, and the camera's already a high dollar item, and they're cutting back the price a little bit, just pass that savings on to me. Which is okay, because as much as I would like to have a new head strap, I have my Hero 2 head strap here, and I'll continue to use that, and I'll make sort of adjustments and cherry rigs and things as needed. So, into the Hero 4 itself, and why I got it, and why I got the Black Edition. The main reason is that I think we've crossed a new place with GoPro. I think the company as a whole has done things in a way that changes the way people consider action sports videos. When you look at the Hero 2, which I have here, this was a camera which was clearly a sports camera. It's a very dramatic, very visual fisheye. It's going to have that yellow high contrast look to it. There's going to be some long lens distortion artifacts. They try to minimize the rolling shutter, but nonetheless, this was, for its price, for its size, when it came out, a great sports camera. One of the best sports cameras I've ever seen, and certainly the best sports camera available at the time that the Hero 2 was released for this price range. What we've moved to with the Hero Black, Hero 4 Black, is something which is much more along the lines of, in my opinion, it's closer to a DSLR, a very good DSLR. A lot of the hype surrounds it with the 4K resolution, so the same size picture as Times Square screened. You can film at 30 frames a second in that resolution. Also 25 and 24. 24 being useful if you were going to do something a little bit more cinematic and you wanted to have that old style feel. A lot of the other changes is just an incredible crispness to the image, the ability to shoot 120 frames in 1080p. And what it comes down to for me ultimately is just the look of it. When I look at the image, it's the red filters and the technical magic that goes into it, which I'm not very scientific or technical or able to really recognize in great detail how that goes together works. Looks to me to be something in a whole new field. The way they're the way they're moving with their advertisement, if you've been following their videos, is it doesn't have the same feel as a sports video anymore. And I think that that's a very conscious decision that they're making. I think it's very much the right decision. It's recognizably the feel and look and attitude of something much more narrative. And I think this camera is equipped to do that. It seems to me that as we're moving forward with cinema in new ways, we're going to see stuff like this, stuff like little GoPros, become part of storytelling. I think it'll be interesting one day when you watch an entire feature-length film that's been shot on something like this. You won't necessarily be seeing an entire feature-length film of a blockbuster scale, but I imagine the smaller projects will be using something like this, and that'll be pretty amazing, I think. It'll be very interesting to see how those turn out, and if they'll have to be sort of Napoleon Dynamite style, if they're actually going to do something a little bit more ambitious. I remember I saw the trailer for the new Terrence Malick movie, and I noticed a lot of sort of fisheye and long lens going on in that film, the way they shot it. A lot of sort of surrealist imagery in the sort of LA setting, or whatever it's about. Who has any idea what any Terrence Malick movie is about? And I thought, wonder if they shot that. Is there any way they possibly shot that on a GoPro Hero 4 Black? Because it doesn't seem impossible considering the capabilities and resolution of this camera, and also the basic image. So, to get to the gist of it, the reason I decided to get the black edition instead of the silver edition, which has several benefits, being obviously one, price, also the LED screen on the back certainly comes in handy, which does not come with the black edition, was that in a side-by-side comparison, what you can tell is just the software in this camera is able to balance out bright and dark, contrast colors, use the sunlight and work with it, keep the bright and the dark all in the same image, and it auto sort of puts all that together for you in a way that's very pleasing. The sharpness is immense, and the white balance and all of those sort of things, they just look great. It's a great looking camera. So within this next year, I recently shot a video with the Hero 2, also a friend who has a couple DSLRs. We shot that video, and the Hero 2 footage was clearly the one that was, in spite of being a great camera, was the one that was at the back of the line for video quality. And this next year, we'll be working with a couple clients that want some more ambitious stuff from us, and this will come in a lot of use. So I expect that you'll be seeing videos from me using this fairly soon, and I look forward to seeing how those turn out. And I'll share them on here, or also on my Facebook page. Beyond that, I think just the general move for sports cameras and a lot of other cameras towards not accepting multiple different standards of quality, I think is very interesting. I think the fact that what we used to have said, well, that's great, it's a great sports video. Now, no one would have compared it to sort of a production. It would have just been, the best of that genre, of that field. And now it seems that everyone's held to a much similar standard, especially with the way GoPro is advertising. With the Hero 2 model, one of my favorite commercials I've ever seen, quite honestly, was very sort of the best of the best action sports video, quick cuts from the most extreme, very dynamic, sort of resting on style way of shooting things. And it worked. It was brilliant. It was incredibly dynamic. And with the new Hero 4 commercial, they don't change from action to action, from adventure to adventure, from achievement to physical prowess. to wild stunt at the same speed. They focus on 4 so different expeditions and explorations, and they really give you a bigger picture of what you can use it for. They show some ice climbers in Antarctica, which is absolutely unbelievable. Some sort of humanitarian workers, um, volunteers helping us get whales that are trapped in a fishing line, a guy who's coming face to face with wild stallions of the American Southwest, a giant rock concert, car gang in Japan, and some scientists visiting a volcano. And they really give you a broader idea of it, although GoPro is still absolutely superbly up to the task of shooting your snowboard video or your water skiing video. It's also the sort of camera that you can use for almost any purpose. And it's the one you would want to get for almost any purpose. There isn't a better version. There's not someone else out there that's doing it for better. And for this price, you're looking at something that can hold its own against a $1,200 camera of almost any range used for those purposes. And all the while being shockproof and waterproof up to, I think, 40 meters. So, anyways, sort of the general storytelling move with sports cameras, the quality of the camera, and the fact that I apologize for the fact that it's been so long since I put anything out. And that will be corrected fairly soon, probably within the first couple weeks of January, or maybe even before. We'll be seeing something up on my YouTube channel. And definitely check out my Facebook page for a post there. So you guys have a lovely day. Comment below what you think. If there's something that I don't know about this camera that you'd like to tell me, that'd be great, because as I mentioned hundreds of times, technical stuff, not my expertise, but I can definitely recognize something beautiful. So exquisite technology, great company, long may they reign. Bye. Dip, 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 dip.